As you head into the later portion of the game, Scourgestones become one of the most valuable resources out there, as they're used for a ton of different crafting and are pretty rare or difficult to obtain. So in this video I'm going to show you 3 Scourgestone runs that you can do that lets you get them a little bit easier. So first up, we have the most common and well-known and probably best way of getting Scourgestones currently in the game, which is Dunley Monastery grave runs. So in Dunley Monastery, there are 4 graves, or basically chests, that you can loot, and they often have Scourgestones, sometimes multiple Scourgestones inside of each. So you can see their locations as I do this one on screen here, but there are 2 to the left when you come in, 1 to the right, and then 1 all the way behind the church. Now, because this is in a monastery, you are going to take damage from the holy radiation. However, there's ways to significantly reduce the amount of damage you're taking, and actually you can do like a no damage taken run without any holy resistance at all. So the first way to do it is what I'm doing on screen here and what I highly prefer, which is to take shielding abilities and then just constantly apply shields to yourself as you're going through the monastery, as you're doing the run. So Blood Rage is a really good one that you get early. Crimson Aegis is probably the best one, again, that you get pretty early. And then Veil of Frost, or the Frost Dash, also gives you a shield. So if you combo all 3 of these together, you can actually just take no damage if you time them correctly. The other option is to go Bear Form, which allows you to take less damage from the holy radiation and allows you to regen up a little bit. But in my opinion, this is just strictly worse than the shield version and also just as hard to do or obtain. So I would stick to the shield version if I were you. The next method is at the Church of the Damned, which is at the very north of the map. Inside the Church of the Damned, all of the chests will very commonly drop Scourgestones, and some of the mobs there will drop Scourgestones rarely as well. One of the best things though is that it usually has an undead commander. An undead commander spawns there, so as long as nobody kills it, it will be there, and they drop 1 Scourgestone guaranteed. So if you go and clear out all of the mobs, including the undead commander, and loot all of the chests from the Church of the Damned there, you're guaranteed to get a pretty decent number of Scourgestones, although it does take a little bit longer than the Dunley Monastery runs. The last and probably least known method is Scarecrows. Now, I did a video a while back explaining about this hidden mini boss that is Scarecrows, so if you want to check that out for a little bit more information, feel free to. But basically, if you hit Scarecrows that are found in fields, they have a very small, probably 20% chance of turning into this secret hidden mini boss Scarecrow. And when you kill these, they're guaranteed to drop at least 1 Scourgestone. These Scarecrows are usually found in abandoned areas where you can build your base, where there's like an abandoned field. Some notable locations, the abandoned farm is the absolute best for this. You can see it on the map here. It has 6 Scarecrow spawns, making it a very good place to go for pretty much guaranteeing at least to get 1 Scarecrow boss and at least 1 Scourgestone there. And some other good locations, there is this field just southeast of the Dunley Monastery, which has 2, which is super nice because it can just add on to any of your Dunley Monastery trips. You can quickly go to that field, knock the Scarecrows down, and see if you get lucky and get a boss there. Now, sometimes people will have built over this in servers, as it's a pretty good base spot for a lot of people, so it sort of does depend on that, but it can be a nice way to add some extra Scourgestone to your Dunley Monastery runs. Lastly, there's sort of this hill in the middle here. I just note this, it has 2 spawns. However, they're usually covered up by players' bases, but if they're there, it's a nice central location that you constantly pass through that you can quickly check whenever you go past. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope this helped you get some more Scourgestone in the late game. If you want to see more educational content and guides around V-Rising, make sure you subscribe.